Hey guys, and welcome back to Farming Simulator 2017 on Dusty Cove. I was going to start this video very differently. I just had stuff going with courseplay and realised, why is my money going down massively? How much money have I wasted doing this, I wonder? Because I went and stopped them and realised I left all of that on. Helper money and, well, helper fuel all the way down. Yeah. That was costing me a small fortune. And it was the fuel. That's what that would have been. Wow. Okay, we'll get this going again. Oh, hang on. Nearest. This one's been causing me issues. That's not the nearest call. Oh. At this point, I don't even care. Oh, screw it. We're just going to go to the first waypoint again. I hate the fact that some fields are ploughed, and you can't tell what's actually ploughed and what's not. You can, but it's a pain in the ass. Alrighty, let's start this off how I wanted to start it off. Alrighty, we're at the store, and our new purchase has come in. The sprayer. It's had a refurb. The exterior still looks rough, but the pumps and everything in the hydraulics are brought up to snuff. And most of you know where this is from. It's from the mod competition. And the fast track slipping, I don't care. The interior could do with more work, to say the least. But I love how grotty and grimy the thing looks. It looks like a hard-working sprayer, basically. And we are going to love it and cherish it and call it our own. And keep it down at the farm. So we've got ourselves a sprayer at long last. It's going to be a slow old drive home. Well, that was weird. The clip distance on the people took a while to pop in. Now, it's one that I hope gets updated, because it is really rough in the insides. Doesn't look the best by any means. Especially with the edging on the cab, which is probably correct, to be quite honest. This could have been one where it was just glass-sided and that was it. Probably absolutely terrible in cold climates, but it'll do. Just wish it was nicely done. But the exterior, how it looks grimy, worn and weathered, that's what I love. I love machines that look like that. Because far too much stuff in Farm Sim. It looks like it's brand new. Like it just rolled off the production line. Pretty much everything does. Get off the side there. So we have gone for the wide tyres. Why? No. Felt like it. Now I don't think you can change the working width of this. It is set. Although you do have the hydraulic noises. The C-130 is going over. You can hear the hydraulic noises of it changing the working width. That is probably because I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's using the Pantera script for most of the hydros. Or, actually, probably not the Pantera, more likely the New Holland. So I don't know. Get off the side. How long I'll be able to record without getting disturbed. I've got a feeling I've got at least half an hour to get this video done. So what we'll do is we'll take this to the farm. Probably. We'll shove some fertilizer in it now. Another thing I actually do need to buy. Keep it down at this one, I think. Another thing I do need to buy is a fuel bowser, a tank, and that's what I'll run out of. So the way I play the seasons maps, especially, no, we haven't got anything to refill here. To the other yard we go. The way I run the seasons maps is I basically will use the cheap money thing, or whatever you want to call it, to give myself fuel. And I'll use the fuel out of that. I won't just not use the standard trigger to refill it. Why do I do that? Adds more of a challenge, I guess. The fact that you get the fuel when you get the farm to begin with, but over time you use more fuel, especially using these fuel scripts and stuff like that. That makes it actually use a decent amount of fuel, which is good. This is the side, I think, for fertilizer, and that's all. Or is this just the silage? Am I going around in a headless goose chase? Yes, yes I am. GG. Luckily the turning circle on this is pretty good. I'm not sure if they're reflectors or lights up there. Don't know what they are actually. That's the thing with this machine. It's nicely modelled in a way. It's just the textures that, on some cases, could do with making look better. I was going to use this trailer here. Now I don't know if it'll actually fit up there. I do plan on putting the toolbox mod on this. Nah, it doesn't like the trailer. Hey, easy. If that had the narrow tires, it should be okay. Oh, the row crops. So we'll probably put them back on it, but I got it with the standards. And that right there was not the disturbance I was expecting. Anyway, as I was saying, I'll probably swap it to the narrows and give it a go. But I got it with the wides. So I think the fertilizer's here. This is going to cost. This doesn't have a huge tank. Does it show? Okay, yeah, it's got literage up there, miles an hour on the right, or kilometers, whatever you want to do. And the rest of it's somewhat modelled. I don't think there's the guy I see or anything like that, no. Or does it? No, it doesn't. And this holds 3,250 litres. I wonder if it actually shows it as weight on it. Gotta wonder sometimes. Now this we'll just put in here for the time being. There we go. And that is our new toy to play with. Alright, this is doing its thing, so that cost us 4,322. Haven't done any more on the bulldozer yet. That's a project for another day. And the rollers we brought to the field, because what we're going to do is work alongside the Fent mainly today. It's actually one of the only jobs we've got to do. So this map is probably going to be a big candidate of a live stream at some point or another, possibly when I'm back. I don't know, I should have started the video off. Of course, I am still away camping. This is actually coming up to our last few days there. So we'll unfold it. I'm intrigued to see how the unfold actually works, because surely this tears up the ground and tears up and hurts the tyres when you're unfolding it like that. Just doesn't seem particularly right. And I think these rollers act like tyres, because they'll pick up the dirt, watch. It's pretty neat how these work. Alrighty. Switch them on. Of course, they should always be on, but hey. Not gonna make it lose marks because of that. And we'll rocket right along. We'll probably actually catch up to this pretty darn quickly. So this is just the initial fertilization stage and the initial rolling in. It's not something that I'm particularly care if it's done 100% accurate. It's just rolling in seed. It's fine. This is canola on this field. Let's see, yeah, canola, so oilseed rape. Which we are rolling in. So we'll go over this twice. That patch I'll do after. I'm going over this twice, well, because leveling off there, I guess. Yeah, there's no way you go across the furrows at 12 miles an hour in this thing. You'd have broken yourself and broken the machine. Honestly, it's questionable the fact I'd be rolling at this sort of speed anyway. That's what I think about these rollers, is I don't think they're heavy enough, but there again, who knows? It's only rolling. The ground would be fairly smooth, the odd lump and bump really as you're going over the furrow. It's this here that you'd really want to, I guess, turn around in the seeded ground, not necessarily on the furrows just like I did there. It's probably done better. That being said, you wouldn't be in this field at the same time it's being seeded, would you be? Would you be? Wow, great English. Only reason I am is, well, nothing else to do. It really isn't. There's no grass to mow. Which, I think once grass is ready, we will probably do that for silage bales. Maybe to sell, or maybe just hay, or something along those lines, because I think... Well, we're back after a stupidly lengthy pause. People coming and going. So I did say if I stop halfway through for whatever reason and forget what I was saying, that was the case. So, we are now away, catching up on this. Luckily we had it paused, so it's still there. And everyone else has gone out to do some running around and grab dinner and whatnot. Meanwhile, I only had, well, 20 minutes to do this video. So we will continue this without any interruptions, hopefully. What is that? Is that a bear? Or is that support? Well, hey, going off center. I wonder what that's for there. Looks like some sort of sensors or something. Interesting. Oh, I wonder if that's the locking arm. Keep it locked down when it's in transport. I'll have to have a look at that in a second. And there's been many storms still as well today. It's been insane. Absolute crazy. So tomorrow, of course, we've got the what you call it? County line. I always forget the name of that map. So we'll be doing that. We're harvesting yet again. It's going to be a short video, I think, just because of the nature of it. Harvesting yet again. Whoa. As much as I love doing it, because we're running those combines on courseplay just to get that field done. I said I wasn't going to, but I'm almost thinking about getting 4 combines going in one field. It's going to be a lot to manage though, and a lot to turn, and it's just going to be a nightmare. Yeah, and here we go again. Hey! I got a little sideways there. Wonder what that is for. Looks like some sort of lever to counteract. Wait, it's got a... Oh, is that the pivot point? But that's what it is, yeah. So that bar going across the top there is the bar to lock them together as one unit, I think. And then we've got the silvery pivot points. So if I get Lincoln Creek, oh geez, Lincoln Creek, that's going back. County line going tonight, which I'm probably gonna have time to do now. Then that's all the videos banged out this Monday, so I can get that uploaded, squared away, and start sorting out live streams and possibly live stream the rest of the week. I don't know if I will though, to be quite honest. It amazes me, we've still got thunderstorms going on around the area. We had another 2 when I was paused, and I think there's probably another coming in. I wonder if the tractor's that far ahead that we're not actually gonna sort of catch up to it. Now we're going, it's probably going about 6 miles an hour. And we're doing 12 miles an hour, so we're doing another 6 miles an hour on top of what it's doing. So we may end up catching up. Can't remember if I took a thumbnail yet. Natusha. And of course, this being 6 meters as well, then doing the headland will be okay. Like I say, I know I'm missing bits and you can visibly see that, but this is just the initial fertilization. I'm not too worried. Right now the soil temperature is borderline. I think everything requires like 5 degrees technically. But you used to be able to get away with it. Whether you can now, I don't know. And if you can't, that's going to be interesting. That'll probably be a season restart and a lot of courseplay work at some point, which will suck. A lot of courseplay work and big tractors going around, tiny map off camera to reseed every field. But we shall get there. I know this type of stuff can be boring. I could jump back and forth, but me trying to get these videos done and out at a timely manner, there's I'll just focus on one thing. And really, what's happening on this map right now, we've got a tractor ploughing and this. And that's all that can happen on the map currently. I don't have another seeder, so we can't get a tractor seeding. I can't mow because we're in early spring. And we don't have any animals because, well, we've got nothing to feed them with, including sheep. We can't mow the grass because of the lack of grass. The only thing that we could possibly do is get pigs and buy feed, which is going to sink us into not having much money, so I don't want to do that. I think this time around I'm definitely going to start with pigs and probably finish on sheep, as we were so darn close to getting the pigs last time around. I'm just looking to see what fields probably are going to be good for potatoes or whatever. Field 11 would be a good one for potatoes, and I think that's what we'll end up doing. Possibly get the harvester for that. Harvester, jeez, planter, rent the planter for that. Get that seeded in potatoes. So we've got that. We're going to have grain because I believe this is canola, so we're going to have that along with cereal crop, which we've got wheat. And then they just need straw for bedding, which we can keep. I will be using the big pack baler mod, which I'm not too sure. No, this is planning later down the line for Dusty Cove. I'm not too sure if that works with seasons yet. Not 100%. We are catching up. We are catching up. Once we get probably like 2 rows away, then I'll probably put this down to 6 miles an hour or 7. So we're only gaining tiny little bit. So I don't want to be stupidly far or ahead of it. Of course, going up the hill. We are definitely drinking fuel. 10 litres an hour there, which is a good amount of fuel. So if it continued to do that, the fuel tank we probably have an hour or so, probably like an hour and a half's worth of fuel, because this obviously holds maybe 40 or 50 litres, which I don't know what these tanks hold or held, but it's probably pretty accurate. Okay, I'm going to dial the speed down right now. That's the thing, rolling. I presume you don't want to be going stupidly quick. Probably say like we were. But you don't want to be going stupidly fast. Stupidly slow neither. Yeah, we're about 2 rows apart now. Something along those lines. Alright, pause for a couple of seconds to let that thing get ahead. Because we closed on it. We closed in on it pretty quickly. One thing I've noticed is that cultivator constant sound it's got when it's on or off. Don't know if I like that too much. I guess you'd have a clinking noise, but kind of very repetitive. Actually, what speed is that doing? Oh heck, that's going at 12 miles an hour too. How did we catch up with that thing going to... And it's doing 12 miles an hour. Jeez, I didn't realise that thing was going that fast. Now I can see that on course play. Not course play, the glance. So I'm looking down at the earth now. There you go, you guys can easily see it. So it's the one above the one I'm in. So it's in white there. 6.2. Okay, it's making a turn now, I'm guessing. Oh, it's backing up. Yeah, there it is, 12.1 mile now. Typical. Well, if I stay half the speed that it is, then I should be roughly as far behind it. I should never catch up at this point. So hopefully this is somewhat interesting. Yeah, I'm doing a kind of boring job and probably move on, but you got other stuff to look at. The seeder working, which is kind of cool. My line was all over the place that time around. I do like the dirt texture on this roller. It doesn't look muddy per se, it's just dusty. It dulls everything down, which I prefer on the tractors. Honestly, I'd like a little less of the mud look and more of this dusty kind of look. It's a shame. I don't think it'll ever be possible, but it can't have two types of stuff. Where harvest time, it's a kind of a yellowy, dusty or sort of colour from baling or harvesting and all of that. And then you're doing groundwork, you're going over fields like this, and it can detect what you're doing. Then it applies more of, say, a muddier look to the tractors. It'd be kind of cool. I don't know if it would ever be possible, and the fact that the coding I would have to go into is probably quite extreme. But pretty neat, I think. And of course we already have the rain that washes tractors whether they're, well, anywhere on the maps. Because the rain apparently goes through roofs. Yep. That's the thing. I think the time I catch up on the seeder actually is when it's doing that, backing up. Now yes, it's faster than me, but I just make the turns like so, and we're good to go. but it's there, it gains quite dramatically. Yeah, look, oh, that's funny. I guess it's about the standard. We managed to keep it within this confinement. So one thing I love these tractors for is they can turn on a dime, pretty much. I wonder if either Cattle Crops or FarmSim will ever add in differential braking. I presume that's still a thing on tractors. I know on the older style, and it's definitely the stuff that Bill has, the only tractors I've already ran, they've got the differential braking. Of course, you don't want to do it too much because it's locking up one side, so you're creating ruts. So you'd never do it on the seedbed. Over ploughed ground or ploughing, yeah, have at it, lock that wheel up, it doesn't matter. You still got to cultivate. But you never want to do it on the seeded ground. Oh, and I should have turned sooner. And right now, we are only... I'm going to try and level this row out. We are only about 2 rows behind it. Well, 1 row, actually. And you watch it overtake me in a second. I wonder if those lights don't work on the dash. It'd be nice if they ever change. Something that I've noticed this tractor doesn't cope with, now I don't know if it's limitations of the game or the tractor, is those particle effects from the full rail module. The, whatever they call it, I forget which one it is. The rear tyres are okay, but the fronts, you notice it kind of glitches out a little. I'm surprised that did not overtake me. We're catching up on it doing 6 miles an hour. Well, 7 actually. 7.4. So we're actually doing 7.5. So closer to 8. Now that'll be 6.5. That's 6.8 according to glance, and that's 5.5. Yeah, so that should be 6 on the nail. Like I was talking about recently, there is technically 6 miles an hour in the cruise control. Bump it 1 more, that'll be 6.7, 6.8. 1 more, and 7 is like half. We definitely do the cruise controls weird. So we're actually bumping down to straight 6 miles an hour, as close to it as possible. Because we are 1 row away from it. And I think once we hit the 30-minute mark, we'll call it a video. And I will probably work on county line. It's actually almost reaching the end because it's not going over the ground there because of the next headlands. There we go. Switch that back on. We'll open it up, do this row, and then we'll probably leave it be and see what happens next. But chances are, other than a live stream, this is going to be the last video on this until I get back to here. I guess I was going to say back to the UK, but no. It's amazing watching these work. I do like watching the tractors just work sometimes, especially if they're on course paint. Stiffs like this. This tractor does bury itself deep in the ruts there. And that is where we will call it quits for today, guys. So I hope you have enjoyed our cultivations and rolling this again. I know it's repetitive, but this is Seasons in a nutshell for any of you new players of Seasons. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll catch you guys next